5 minutes from now, Arik Dakre would be fighting for his life. He would swiftly lose that fight against the masked shinobi intruders, his future changing in ways he couldn't possibly fathom, everyone around him slain in the most barbarous manner imaginable. There would be flames, there would be death, and over 1,000 years of carefully curated healing texts and arcane Revivora treaties would be wiped off the face of Taomoni forever. By the end of the hour, Arik would be the last classically trained healer alive, not only in his nation, but quite possibly his entire world. The only flame still burning, the only ray of hope for a war-torn nation. Against all odds, Arik Dakre would become the war priest. The disciples of the Academy of Healing Arts were educated in the art of the sword, even if the rest of their lives would be dedicated to mending wounds and caring for the sick. They used wooden swords for the graduation tournament, their teachers learning long ago that the family members in attendance found it hard to stomach bloodshed, even if the disciples were technically able to heal themselves. Arik Dakre's only focus amidst a sea of spectators holding various clan banners, including his parents and his younger sister seated somewhere on the third row, was to defeat the opponent standing before him, a youth whom he had grown up with. He had made it. After several grueling years of study, Arik Dakre had graduated from the divine branch of wound transfer, and all that was left was the ceremonial tournament, something he had been looking forward to for ages. The disciple was so focused on his stance that he couldn't possibly have noticed the sudden appearance of men in dark gray robes behind the spectators, hoods over their heads, black masks hiding their features. It would be something he would regret to no end for the rest of his life. What if he had seen the masked intruders? What if he had been able to warn the spectators? Could he have made a difference? Or were they doomed regardless? Treating his wooden blade as if it were a longsword, Arik sent it in a downward motion, his opponent able to sidestep his attack. Crack! Their wooden blades collided, yet another combat lesson coming to Arik as the two tried to overpower one another. The only way to overcome a scenario in which two swordsmen were equally matched was to let one's body become what was known as the striking body, and their mind the striking mind, to no longer probe for preliminary hits, to go straight for a strike executed with sheer resolve. You can do this, Arik thought, as he pressed back, taking an upper stance and monitoring his opponent's cadence. You have to win. The crowd of spectators seemed to swell around him as he advanced on his opponent. He knew not to give his opponent a name at that moment, even though they'd briefly